Hello and welcome back. Today is another episode 4 of the Fluke Friday. And it's in the Fluke Friday, I show every time a different series of the Fluke, and it could be a multimeter, it could be a frequency counter. Fluke made a lot of things, and I'm going through the series. And this time it's going to be the 25 and the 27. In episode 3 I said it would be the 21 and the 23, but I did some research and they are so close to the 70 series that I want to show them during the 70 series. And also I show already now my 4th episode with handheld multimeters, so I want to jump to the 30 series and then go up. And then we meet the 21 and the 23 in the 70 series. Little disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by Fluke. These items are not original, but I made this for the purpose of this video because I'm a fan, and of course because of the copyright. It will not be for sale, purely for this video. So the Fluke 25 and 27. Well, here we have one. This is a 25, and it was actually one of the first, and it has his relation, his background is kind of military also, and you find it in most of the models except for the last few, is that they all have this male standard 810C. So it was made for the military, in that at least it had a rating for that. And some of that here, they have the MSHA, the Ministry of Health and Administration. And I even have found some have some sort of mining approval. So this stuff is built to last. I think nowadays it would call maybe the EX versions, the anti-explosion versions. And well, this is the 25, and it's difficult to see the size maybe, but if we compare it to a standard multimeter here, like the 73, you can see it is a huge difference. And also in weight, I think it is almost 700 or 750 grams. And if we compare it to a modern 87, you can still see it is a lot bigger. And especially when we take it out. It's clearly, and yeah, it is like a brick. I think it's almost impossible to break it, and that's why also they have all these ratings. Well, there is also a little bit more luxurious version, and that is the 27. And Fluke does that a lot, that the inside is completely the same, but only on the outside you see a few buttons extra. Well, we see the same exactly here. This one has the same military rating and the Ministry of Health also there. Yes, and there was actually a model before, and that is weird enough, in the 8000 series. And I have a few other 80,000 series, but these look, well, you can see this comes from the 25, or this is actually before the 25, and this is the 8025B, and there was also in 25A, and that is exactly the same as the 25 and the 27. Well, I was not able to find the 8025A, but I do have the 25B, and I actually thought when I found it that it was a 25. Well, I should have thought that it was a 27, but I didn't. So, oh, it's exactly the same as a normal 25. But look, it was as the 27. And it is exactly the same. Only this one does not have a sticker from the health department, but it has the mil spec there. And sometimes you see some extra information, but here it just says the Fluke 8025B. Digital. So, and as I did mention before, it is like a brick. It is super strong. I don't think you can break it. It weighs like a brick. It holds like a brick. It's actually a little bit smoother than a brick. And it has a nice display. But it is almost indestructible. But then you think, Wait, but what about water? Well, there is a seal, and I looked at the type numbers. Even if you look for the 25 and the 27, the type number of the rubber seal still has the 8025 number in it. So they didn't change the seal, so that much similar they are. But what about a lot of water? Well, Fluke thought of that. Look at this cover. This is an original Fluke protection. Here it says Fluke. Look at that. And with the meter inside, you can store also your accessories, luckily, because it is a lot bigger also than the meter itself. But it actually floats, and I have tried that in my sink. So here it is. This is light. It's all filled with air because, of course, you want that. But it just clips open, and then we have here the floater, and the meter just fits in, and it is stuck. So even if it floats upside down, it doesn't fall out. And this is perfect protection. I think you can throw it from an airplane like this. And well, here we have this is the cover. And if we open it, we have a nice space. And there we can fit our probes. And it's 2 sets of probes even. And we have a manual. Seems original, same age. I can see the old logo here. And we even have some stickers that we can stick ourselves on the back. I don't see this Ministry of Health sticker. That would be great if we can put that on ourselves. But in all languages it says don't put it on fire or something in that. So these look like original probes on this side, but this is less original. So maybe if they, I don't know why this is here. And if I look at these probes, I'm not so sure this is original Fluke. We can find out later. It doesn't seem somehow. It's too tiny, and it already broke. I don't think this is original. But it all fits in here if we try hard enough. And let's take it to the bathroom. So why I put it in the sink instead of the bath? Well, 2 reasons. One, of course, you need to have a bath. And secondly, I spent a lot of time on my test equipment, and I don't think I can explain to my wife why I start bathing with my test equipment. So I've put it in the sink. So let's just see if it really floats. I'm here in my bathroom. Everything is still in here. I just wonder if it can take the weight, and also all the plugs are still in. Let's put it, and let's see if it floats like this and like this. So also with the flat side down, it will probably work. Yes, it floats. The meter doesn't get wet. Cool. And the other way around is a bit more tricky. It is bigger, but it has less space to float. But let's see. Yes, it does float. And it is exactly on the edge here. It's a little bit lower. But I don't think it will get wet inside. No, the meter is dry. So Fluke invented a way how to make a brick float on water, and it did work in my sink, and it is still dry. Uh, oh, seeing this, I thought these meters would be indestructible, but apparently someone managed to break it. Oh, that's a pity. I didn't notice. Oh, there is much more wrong because look at this. Okay. Well, we have a look at it later. And what about yellow ones? So, well, if you're kind of bored with this dark color, well, of course, for the military, it makes sense to have something that doesn't stand out too much. They also have yellow ones. And this one I purchased last week. And it was just nice to have a 25. And it looks newer. It does have also the military rating, but it doesn't have the Ministry of Health sticker. But I chose this one because it was calibrated recently, 2021-08, so that was not long ago, and the display looked best on this because there were more on eBay, and but this display just looks the best, and I liked that it was calibrated. So that's why I picked this one, and there is even a newer one, and that is this one. That is a 27. It is like this 27. Not only that it is yellow, but you can also see already the new logo. And let's see, yeah, it is already the Fluke in yellow. But it is not an FM, and this series is also made in FM. But the FM is like the almost a true RMS. But on this sticker it says it is an FM. Now look at this. So we're gonna try if it is sort of true RMS. What I see that is missing, and that is maybe because it's a later model. It doesn't have the mil spec anymore, and I don't see a Ministry of Health. So I'm not sure. It is probably not rated for it then. But maybe it was not necessary anymore, because if you want a military spec, then you probably want it in this color. Maybe you can see his generation by the logo, and then I would think, okay, I would put first this one, because I know, okay, this logo, then I'm a bit surprised about this 25 with the old logo. Then I have here the new Fluke logo, and then I have here the newest Fluke logo. I think that would be the generations. That is the very first, then that would maybe be the second, and this would be the third, and the fourth with the FM in it, if it is true. And also this one is gray, so this is really one of the last. This is the first series, but the first series came in different generation. Now there is also a 27.2, which is completely different. So we have them all here, but now I wonder, are they still good? Well, one should be good, and that is this one, because it was calibrated a few months ago, a year ago. And yeah, the other ones I don't know, but these are actually very good meters. I made a little list, and the accuracy of them is all the same. It's 3200 counts. They have a microamp setting even for 320 microamps, and well, it's all fused, but if we look at the precision, the accuracy on DC is 0.1, while in the 70 series it's 0.5. So this is actually pretty good. And on AC it's even 0.5%, and the ohms are 0.3, and the DC amps are 0.75, and the AC is 1.5%. So this is pretty good stuff, especially when you compare it to the first series of the 70 series. which we're gonna see another time. So, but let's see the DC voltage. Which one will still work? Uh-oh, not too many. Well, I have a few batteries. I hope the batteries didn't damage the meters. So let me try first to put the batteries in. I untie all the screws and then you get into the battery compartment. And then you need to try to open it. It seems to slide out. And it also seems to be a little bit stuck. But that is, I think, because there is no battery in right now. So yeah, that was indeed the case. It was stuck behind the battery. And well, here we can see already the fuses. And there are some big fuses in there. Look at that, and a small one, probably for the micro amp. And the wire seems to be stuck behind the fuse. Okay, that's a bit weird, but let's put the battery in. Let's see if it powers up or not. Let's see how that works. Okay, it's a tight fit. I need to guide it past the fuse, and there it goes. Yes, it powers on. Perfect. Next one. Oh, I see the other meters got scared and they suddenly power on. There is a battery. Yeah, this one is almost empty and this one is almost empty. And oh, these digits are also kind of weak. That is maybe cleaning, I hope. So this one after a while decided to power on, but I will replace first the battery because we want a good readout, and this one is now off again. I don't know if that's auto power off. No, it's also weak. Okay, still. Okay, funny they switched on. Okay, interesting. This is the FM version, the one without the mil spec. Does have a different compartment. The battery is less good protected as it was in the others. It does have a seal, so it's probably still sort of waterproof. And the battery we find here, but the fuses also seems to be protected here with an extra cover. So let's see how we get this battery out. Well, it seems you can just pull it by its cable carefully, and then we can take the battery out. And probably if you want to reach the fuses, yeah, there they are. And I only see two, not three as the other I had. And well, let's put it back. We take it apart later. It still goes in. It switches on. Good. Let's see how they perform. So I have different type of process calibrators. Usually I use the LBO2A because this is pretty accurate. And I also have, it was cheaper. It was from Serie, and it is the SG003A. It works reasonable, but it is less accurate than the LBO2A. And if I want to do my AC and if I want really good DC, then I use the DMM Check Plus. It also has a few precision resistors, so I will do also that. And for AC, it has exactly 50% 5 volts block square wave. So here we can see if it is real RMS, average RMS or true RMS, or if this FM, if that comes close enough to the real RMS, and that we can only do on the 27. But we're gonna test it on both just to see if they really are not RMS or they are. This one beeps a little bit less, so I will start with this one just to see how many counts they have. If they indeed have 3,200 counts, we can see it switch over. And then I will play with this one, but this one beeps a little bit loud. So they all have their pro and cons, and I have the special use for all of them. I think I leave it like this because we can see the display in here. It is a little bit dark. I don't know if it just decolored or it is because it is the military version, and maybe I can clean it. The rest of the multimeter is also not that clean. This one I don't use too much. Let's see if I still know how this works. I think I'm now in the voltage, so let's go to 1 volt. Input on. It has these weird plugs, so that is a little bit a dislike for. And how we can see it already have a bar chart. Amazing in this in that time already. 2 volts. 3 volts. Let's go to 3.1, so that is 3,100 counts, 3,200 counts. Does it now one more? No, it switches over. Yes, 32 counts. Nothing wrong with that. Get the other calibrator to get my 5 volts exactly. Let me heat up the DMM check plus. This one is calibrated, I think, 6.5 or 7.5, maybe even 8.5. It was super precise. But you need to heat it up, so we need to have it switched on for a while. So meanwhile, I can play with my other calibrator. Let's put this one on, and I will mute the sound a bit to set it to 5 volts. So 5 volts. You see, we also have an extra digit if we compare to this one, but it does the job. I have a video about all of these process calibrators. So 5 volts, and that is what you usually see. It is 1 digit off. You saw that also in my other videos, and yeah, that is what it is. So what about resistance? Let me put it to the resistance. Switch this off. Go to resistance. Put this one to resistance. It should be about 20 ohm, but it is emulated 20, so I'm not sure if it can do that or not. Yes. Look at that. That is 20. A little bit up. $100, I would say. Some of the multimeters have a problem with this emulated ohms because I think it kind of assumes that it is exactly 10 mega ohm impedance, and then it just bases its current. They do a dirty trick with this emulated resistance, but it can do it. This multimeter from the Stone Age, it is amazing. This is quality. So 1000 ohms, 1K. Well, it already said in the specifications that this meter on the ohms range, does 0.3%. So, well, look at that. Perfect. Of course, because it's a process calibrator, we can also do current. So let's try that. Milliamps, 4 milliamps. Then I put this one also in the milliamps, and probably this one in the milliamps here. Let's see, do we have 4? Look at that. It even go here. I think I can go up to 20 or 24. 12, 24, and you can see it switched over. Okay, let's do the diet continuity test. Yeah, that works. I don't know what resistance it will stop beeping. We can do a quick test here in the ohms setting. 20 ohms it will beep. I will mute the sound a little bit. So it stopped beeping around 190 ohms. Probably when we go lower. Okay, so around 170. The beep stops for the continuity test. That also works. Let's see if we can do some AC measurements. Okay, the DMM check plus. It has been switched on for a while. And first I do the DC volts plus minus. So I connect it to the volts. This should be exactly 5. Well, we have the same with it, 1 digit. If I switch it now over to AC, then this is still DC. Now it is 100 Hertz, and it should probably say 5.5. Yes, it does, because it is not through RMS. And if I switch it now to 100K or 10K, I think it's completely lost. Oh, not even that much. Okay. And I can do the same with the current. Let me do the current in milliamps. No. Then I should have exactly 1 in, yes I have. And can I do the same with AC? Now I should be back to 100K, I think. Milliamps. That will also be a little bit high because of the RMS, but it does measure. Okay, that is good. Well, we can check some of the ohms with my 1% here. 100K. That is 100K, I would think. 10K. That is 10K. 1K. And 100 ohms. Nothing wrong with this meter. So that is I'm really almost speechless, because this is the oldest meter I think I have from Fluke, and it's the 8025B we tested first, and it is still spot on, and that is why you pay so much money for a Fluke, because yeah, you can have it for your life. And some even, I saw one of my meters, I think even this 27 here, says warranty expired lifetime, so it doesn't expire. Not sure if it's only for the first owner, because sometimes they have tricks like that. But they are very convinced that the product is good. That is for sure. Yeah, this one needs cleaning. I can also test all the relative and the min-max functions, but I think I will just do that with the last multimeter, because it will be the same. I will put a time lapse, and I will quickly test also the other meters, and then we start opening up. Okay, let's test that last one. That is this one, the later series of the 27. It doesn't say FM in the front, but it does say FM in the back. So hopefully this Fluke RMS chip is placed in here. And well, I saw on the EEV blog that sometimes it is just a matter of putting a cap there or just taking it out. I don't know that. I didn't do anything yet to it. It says FM on the sticker. It doesn't say FM in the front. So let's have a look. So here it is. I hope you can see it. We start with the DC, just as we did with the others. Booting takes a while, but it is there. Yeah, the display is, I hope we can clean it. It feels like it is just glue. Hopefully it is. And well, let's put the DC 5 volts. It thinks it is DC 5 volt, so that is good. Switch it off. We put it to AC and we switch it on, and then we put it on AC, and then yeah, will it say it's 5.5 or will it say it is close to 5? It says 5.5, so it is probably not an FM, because then I would have expected now 500. That's a pity, because the sticker says it is. Higher frequency, nice. Okay. Okay, let's try the min max function. I put it here to 5 volts. I switch it on. Then I do 5.1, 5.2, 5.3. It doesn't beep, but the other one did with the 10, 11 and the 12. And let's see if we cycle through it. The min was 4.59. Again, that little overshoot, and that could be this one. And the max, no, the max not. This one handles a little bit better. Min, max. They also say min here, max there. But the current value is not visible. Then we first have to reset, I think. And how do I get my auto range back? Long push. Yeah, okay. So now I have this very nice multimeter. Everything seems to work except for that the FM, or I just misinterpreted the FM. But I thought it would be like the RMS. But yeah, it doesn't. So maybe the sticker is put by the seller. But I still like it. I like to try the microamp also, because it can do the below the 350 microamps. So I wonder if that works. You can probably hear the noise, because I cannot do that with my simple process calibrator. I need therefore a real calibrator. And yeah, what is the best way to do it than use a Fluke calibrator? Yeah, this is actually already a little bit of a spoiler for a later episode when I become in the 5000 numbers. This is the 8125B Fluke calibrator, and it should be able to do all these low values. So it is heating up, but we don't have too many digits here. This is all 3200, so 3.5. And this one, I think you can use it to 4.5, but if you use better voltage meters, you can of course adjust to them, and then you can also get a higher accuracy. So yeah, let me set it up and have a look. Well, I hope everything is visible. I did not play too much with it myself either, so I always need to look a little bit how to do this, but it is probably just here. local feedback, so that is good. Let me put this one here and put this in a microamp. This one is in a microamp, and just let me put 1 microamp, so 1 microamp. Enter. Oh, it doesn't do that, why not? Then it's a bit too low, maybe microamp. Yes, it does that. Microamp, then operation. Cool, it does that. 9.9. Okay, let's get 100. Stand by. 100 microamp. Clock, there it goes. 99.8. Okay, yeah, could also be this one. Of course, I bought it second-hand, but we are in the 100 microamps. That is pretty cool. Let me put 300 then. I'm not sure if I can do that while it is in operating mode. No. Yes, I can. Okay. Look at that. Close to 300 to 99.6. Wow. And I should be able to do the same in AC, to be honest. Switch it to standby. This one can stay here. Then let me go back to 100 microamps. And how do I get it to AC? I think 50 Hertz. Okay, now it's AC. To operate. Yes, same value, 99.8. 300 microamps. It will stay in AC because it already is. Look at that. Well, then we can also try if it does the proper AC. Switch it off to standby. Get this one to volts. Let me put 3 volts. 3 volts. 3 volts, 50 Hertz AC. We are here in. Okay. Look at that. 2999. Maybe when it is on a little bit longer, it will say exactly 3. Cool. And we can go a little bit up. Let's try 3.2 volts. It should exactly stay. Okay, and then I can adjust a little bit to see if it is 3200 or a little bit more. Ah, there it was. Okay, that is just amazing. What we find out is that if it is an 8025B, which is an older 27, or it is a normal 27, or it is one of the newest 27 with almost FM, it still works, and they are just as accurate, just as the you see on the paper. They should be all the same, and they are the same. If it is 20, 30, I don't know, maybe even 40 years old, or it is only calibrated last year. I don't know when it is produced actually, but so I can't say something about that. Maybe we see on the inside, but they still work perfect. Amazing. So now we're gonna open them. Let's see if there is an internal difference or not. Yes, and this is now a difficult decision because I need to break the seal, and sometimes I want to keep it, and maybe I will just make a picture of it because in the end I want to clean them, and then maybe I don't want this sticker. And yes, it is calibrated in 2017, but that doesn't really mean that they adjusted it. They just checked it if it was good or not. So in the end, it doesn't mean too much, because I just checked it now also, and yes, it is still good, but I don't put my sticker. So I will just make pictures and then store that in my archive, and that will be it. Well, removing the stickers didn't make it a lot better, but it needs to be a lot of clean. A lot of tape has been on it. Everywhere residue of stickers or tape, like here. It's all sticky. I almost want to clean it first, but now we open it and we see if we can compare it to the 27 there. Okay, all three are open, like the 8025B, the 27, the old 27 and the new 27, and I really have a quick look. And I haven't taken the covers off, but it looks very similar. Here we have all three. I will zoom in on them a bit. And not to confuse the parts. So here we have it, 8025B, the 27, new 27. This is a cardboard, but I would think there is protection on the inside, like foil. Here the same, and here it's already metal. But if we look how everything is placed, it looks the same. Let's open a little bit more. I think it is just these four that you unscrew it from the terminal. Then it seems it can be lifted. It seems to be stuck in. Okay, yeah. They have here connection pins that go into the display. Okay, let's first have a look at the 8025, and and this is the normal 27, but the boards look similar, only this one says 1987, John Fluke, made in USA. 87, and this is, I thought it would be the oldest one because it is the 80 series, but here I have another. It's the normal 25. It says also made in USA, but it says 1984, so it seems older. And then we have the other, and then we move to the new 27, supposedly the FM. And this is a 2003, a really newer. See here the chip for the display. Wow. Here, I don't know, it's probably on the other side. And the buzzer, just a lot more modern. Okay, I decided to open it anyway, and the 80, 25, 27 and the new 27, and in the back it doesn't look that different, to be honest. All have the same Fluke chip, and this is this one, the 700 112. This one is from 89. This one is from 88, but it is the same 700 112, and even here only this one is from 2002, but it is still the same chip. Let's have a look on the other side. Nice old components, a lot of possibilities to adjust. Pot. No, not too much different, but here it comes. This one is clearly more modern. The parts are smaller, although the setup is more or less the same. While cleaning, I noticed also in the battery compartment there is a little space where you have your spare fuse, and it is the small one, so it's for the lowest value. But that would be, of course, also the first one that you might blow. So that's kind of smart. And the battery compartment is also, yeah, I think watertight, at least until a certain degree. It closes completely. Very smart. So, and here is the whole lineup. The 8025B, the 27, the 25, the newer 25, and the 27, latest generation of the first series. Gave them a good clean. They look a lot better. Especially the yellow ones, because you can really restore its color, and then they really are like new. And with the darker ones you don't really see because they didn't get dark, because they are already darker. Yeah, and these two yellow ones look amazing. And the crack I could not fix. Maybe if I glue it, but I just want to keep it as original as it is. So nice, can go back into the collection. So that was episode 4 of the Fluke Friday. We saw the 25 to 27, different generations in the first series. And and of course the 8025B that I also found. Next episode is probably gonna be the 30 and the 32, the clamp multimeters. Not saying it's next Friday, but it will be on a Friday. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time.